Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to yet another video. Today we are back with the Premier League predictions for the final day. This is the big one, Sophie. Some things are still yet to be settled and it's the final day of the Premier League. Let's set the biggest like target ever, seeing as it's the last one. 1,000 likes. Hit that thumbs up button if you've enjoyed the content through the season and are wanting to see Premier League predictions again next year. Please do hit that like button. Please do subscribe to help us push towards 31,000 subscribers. And once again, just a massive thank you for your support. I'm joined by Sophie.
Do you know, I'm really looking forward to this. As a neutral, this relegation battle is so interesting.
Yeah, it certainly is. And not just that, but there is a little bit of European football to play for as well. Let's start with a prediction for Thursday's games before we go to the final day games. We have got a game to go through first in Manchester United versus Chelsea. Now, if Manchester United just avoid defeat in this game, then the top four won't be to play for on that final day. We saw Newcastle wrap up their top four place with a draw against Leicester City. Manchester United just need to not lose to Chelsea, so even a draw would be good enough. And Chelsea, you don't see them picking up 3 points at Old Trafford.
Not even a point.
To be fair though, Chelsea only lost 1-0 to Man City, so you know.
But look at the squad Man City put out. It's like the whole second team.
Well,
still good, by the way, but
yeah,
still.
But that's a very good result for Chelsea. Let's not forget. Manchester United come into this with a win over Bournemouth. Casemiro's goal was really clever. I'll go for Man United to wrap up the top four on the Thursday night. 2-0 Man United.
Yeah, I feel like Man United are going to come into this game actually very confident, just purely because Chelsea's form is shocking at the moment. So I feel like, I don't think they're going to even go full out, but they'll still get the win for me. 1-0.
1-0. Okay, right, let's start going into the final day games. We'll start at the Emirates, Arsenal versus Wolves. Now, remember a couple months ago looking at this game thinking, oh, it's going to be interesting. Arsenal going for the title, Wolves fighting for survival. Nothing to play for, absolutely nothing to play for, dead rubber. Arsenal have absolutely collapsed. They are the mother of all bottles, and they're taking on Wolves, who have been pretty good. I mean, like, they've ended the season in okay form. I thought they really should have seen out the 3 points against Everton. It was a 99th minute equaliser from Everton, but can you put that down to Everton just being desperate to snatch something at the end because they've got something to play for? Maybe. But I think with Arsenal all over the place, I think Wolves can maybe get another draw on the final day. I'm going to go Arsenal 1, Wolves 1.
No, do you know what? I'm going to back Arsenal to lose again. I've backed them to lose against Forest. It happened. I just feel like their heads have gone down now. The title, I would say, slipped away from them, but it was their own. It was their own doing, to be honest. So for me, they lose again. Wolves 1-0. Wolves
1-0. It looks like Arsenal have just got enough points on the board though to avoid relegation at this point.
I think
they should be all right, shouldn't they? Yeah. Okay. Right. We'll go to the West Midlands. Aston Villa versus Brighton. Now this is a big game in terms of the battle for the last couple of European places. Brighton are going to be in the Europa League. Aston Villa, I think, need to win to wrap up 7th place. I think Tottenham Hotspur are right on their tails as well. So this will be an interesting one. With Brighton pretty much there and Villa needing to get there, Villa probably have more to play for. And one thing I will admit, even as a Coventry fan who doesn't have a lot of love for Aston Villa being in Europe is a good thing for the neutral, I think. Just seeing Newcastle get there, Brighton get there, Aston Villa get there, shakes things up. I really went off the top 6 teams when they tried to break away and do this Super League thing. So I'm rooting for teams that are not like the generic top six. So I think Villa can get in there. I think they'll get a win against Brighton. I'm going to go 2-1. Villa have been ending the season pretty well. Yeah,
they have been. I feel like second half of their season has been very good to be. Well, since Unai Emery came in, it's been a very good season. I think they'll wrap it up as well. I'm going to say 2-0. I think Brighton, they've got nothing to play for. Maybe they want to end the season on a high. Maybe they won't. I'm going to say that they're not too bothered. They've done what they wanted to do, finish in Europe. So very good season for them. Good season for Villa as well. Get the 3 points, 2-0.
2-0. Okay, right. We'll move on to Brentford in West London, who take on Manchester City. Now, Brentford have a slim chance of still getting in that top 7. They would need Villa and Spurs to drop points, of course, and they need to beat Man City at home. Not easy. But Man City, like you say, they put out a weakened team against Chelsea. Yeah. Will they do the same, knowing that they've got the Champions League final and FA Cup final to come up? Possibly Brentford are in this game, but I still think, like you say, Manchester City are very strong no matter who they put out.
Yeah.
They could put out their under-16s, and they're probably the best under-16s in the world as well. So Man City are a joke of a club. Congratulations, by the way, on winning the league.
Yeah.
We're not surprised, though. We did back you to win the league before the season started. I'll go for an interesting Brentford 1, Man City 2.
Okay, do you know what? I'm actually going to back a draw here, purely because I think Man City are going to do the same again. Pep's going to give the young lads a bit of a run out, and I do see them getting a goal, but for me, Brentford are going to get a point from this, and yeah, I think that'll be a good result, to be honest, even though I do think it'll be Man City's B team, but still, a point against Man City is a point, isn't it? So 1-1 for me.
1-1. Okay, right, we'll go down to Stamford Bridge. We'll stay in West London because we've got Chelsea versus Newcastle United. Dead rubber again. Chelsea, I don't even know what they're playing for. I think they're about 11th or something. I mean, can't even keep track of Chelsea. They're just blowing in the wind in the table. Newcastle United, though, have wrapped up their top 4 place, which is absolutely fantastic. Congratulations to them. They deserve it. And like I say, great to see a different team get in there. And they're a good team as well in terms of, like, they're going to shake things up a little bit. I think in the Champions League, seeing their ground and their fan base, that's going to be fantastic.
Yeah,
Eddie Howe's done a fantastic job, and they're certainly going to have a lot more confidence coming into this game against Chelsea. Not a lot to play for, let's be honest. But it's the final day. It could be an interesting one. Let's go for goals galore. Chelsea 2, Newcastle 4.
Oh, sorry, I'm going the other way. I think it... I could see it being a 0-0.
Oh.
Yeah, well, maybe a goal fest or a 0-0. I'm going to lean towards a 0-0. I just feel like both seasons are over for them. I feel like that won't be a terrible result for Chelsea, to be honest. End the season on a draw. Yeah, but I just don't see either team really going for it. So 0-0.
0-0. Okay, right. Staying in London again, we'll go down to South London, Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace versus Nottingham Forest. Sophie, Nottingham Forest are staying up. Who said that?
Yeah.
All the way through the season.
You said it all season long.
I'll tell you what I will say as well, though. Before the season started, Sophie predicted Forest to finish 16th. They're now 16th with 1 game to go. It looks very likely they're going to finish where you predicted. So put it there.
Yeah,
and you backed them to beat Arsenal, so I'll give you credit.
Yeah.
They take on Crystal Palace. Let's not forget, Crystal Palace have ended the season very well. They just shared the spoils with Fulham in a 2-2 draw, and Roy Hodgson's done a fantastic job. He's come in when Vieira was struggling. I know Roy Hodgson took over and there was more favourable fixtures for him to go up against, but he's done a good job. And Steve Cooper's done a fantastic job for Nottingham Forest. So certainly 2 teams that can play with a bit of freedom. Absolutely no pressure for this game. Nottingham Forest are going to pick up their 2nd away win of the season. 1-0 Forest, a 1-0 to score.
You know it's not going to happen now that you backed them to win. You're their bad omen.
No, you used to be their bad omen.
Well, I used to be. Do you know, I'm going to back a draw here. I feel like that's not going to be a terrible result for Forest away from home. Palace, again, I feel like their season's over, so a draw wouldn't be a bad result for them either. But as we said, we both thought Forest would stay up, and they've done it, so massive props to them. And also props for keeping older Steve Cooper, because a lot of people would have got rid, and it's benefited them keeping older this season. So yeah, 1-1 for me.
1-1. Okay, interesting. Right, we're going to start heading into the big games in the relegation battle. Let's go to Goodison. Now, Everton are in the driving seat. They take on AFC Bournemouth, and they know that a win will keep them up. They do know, though, that a draw will leave things hanging in the balance. If Leeds win by 3, or if Leicester just win at all, they'd overtake Everton with a draw. So Everton probably need to go out and get that win. Obviously, if they lose as well, then they're under a lot of pressure. I watched Everton against Wolves. I thought they were actually very poor in that game. They didn't really have many spells of possession or pressure. I don't think they were really creating many problems for Wolves. They did get a goal, fair play to them, you know, with Yeremina's goal, and that could be a crucial point at the end of the season. But even though AFC Bournemouth have stayed up now, I don't think they're going to be any walkovers. And AFC Bournemouth always seem to give Everton a tough game. I think they've beaten them twice in the League and Cup already. I know this time it's at Goodison. I think this is going to be a very nail-biting 1-1 draw, and Everton will just have to see how the other results go to see if they're going to stay up.
Yeah, do you know what? I completely agree with you. I think it's going to be 1-1. I know Bournemouth don't have anything to play for now, but I feel like people have underestimated them this season, and I don't think Everton are going to do that. But have they got enough quality to see the game out and get 3 points? I don't think so. So for me, I agree. 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. Okay, right, we'll go to Elland Road. Leeds United take on Tottenham Hotspur. Now, this is maybe the biggest game of the weekend in terms of two sides with something to play for. Tottenham trying to wrap up their top 7 place. Leeds United obviously battling for survival. Leeds United, as we say, are in a weak position. They're 19th. A draw or a loss relegates them. They need to win this game. I don't think it's impossible that they beat Tottenham Hotspur. Even though Sam Allardyce hasn't picked up a win yet, Tottenham are certainly a team that you could take advantage of at this moment in time. But the problem is, if Everton draw, Leeds need to win by 3. They really need Everton to lose. We've gone for Everton to draw. I do think Leeds United win this game, but maybe not by 3 goals. I'm going to go Leeds United to win this game 2-1. If Everton draw or win, it won't be enough. But if Everton lose, that would be enough for Leeds. But I'm going to go Leeds 2-1.
You know, I'm actually going to back a Desmond 2-2.
Okay.
I feel like Spurs might take the lead, bottle it as they do, make it 1-1, and then you think, oh, it's all to play for. I see Leeds making it 2-1, and then they're thinking, oh, it's on. And then I just see Spurs getting a draw, and then that relegating Leeds, to be honest, according to our predictions. But I think it could be a really interesting game. As you say, both teams got a lot riding on this, and that's why I see there being a few goals. But a draw, 2-2.
2-2. Right, we'll go to the King Power. Leicester City take on West Ham United. Now, with the results we've predicted, a win for Leicester City will get them out of trouble. And who'd have thought it? They seemed certainties to go down, but they just keep getting handed a lifeline because everyone else is rubbish as well. Leicester City, like I say, at home to West Ham. West Ham have nothing to play for. They've got that final in the Europa Conference League to look forward to, and to be fair to them, let's mention they were taking on Leeds United last weekend. Leeds had something to play for, but West Ham still came from behind to beat them. So I don't think this will be a walkover for Leicester. Let's give Leicester a little bit of credit for getting a 0-0 at Newcastle, but I did look at the stats and I kept checking the result, and
they were lucky to get a draw,
everything I saw was Newcastle attack, Newcastle attack. I think there was about 15 shots to 0, 15 corners to 1. I mean, Leicester City clung on there for a point. Could be a crucial point. As I say, though, if Everton win, Leicester can't do anything. But if Everton draw, Leicester can get out with a win. I think Leicester take the lead in this game, but I could see West Ham being a nuisance. I'm going to go 1-1.
Oh, okay. I feel like West Ham are going to prioritise their final over this game. I feel like Leicester, they need to throw absolutely everything at this if they want to survive, but I don't see them doing it. I feel like they should have gone more at it in the Newcastle game. Said they were lucky to get a point there. Just when you kind of look at the clips and also the stats, they were not really in the game. However, they did manage to keep a clean sheet and most importantly get a point. So I've got to give them some credit for that. I don't see them doing it against West Ham, and I actually see West Ham getting the win. 1-0.
Wow, 1-0 West Ham. So, if you add those 3 predictions up from both of us, we've both got Everton surviving just, even though we didn't back Everton to win. Goodness me, it will be close. Right, 2 games to go. Let's go to Old Trafford. Manchester United take on Fulham. We've just said that we fancy Man United to beat Chelsea, and remember, if they don't lose that game, they've wrapped up their top 4 place, so this game would be a bit of a dead rubber. And I think the fact that Manchester United are playing just a couple of days before the final day as well, maybe they'd be rotating a little bit for the final day, or maybe they'll be a little bit tired or something. So I think Fulham might get a draw here on the final day. Fulham desperately unlucky to lose to Manchester United on a couple of occasions this season. I think they lost in the last minute at home to them just before the World Cup. And in the FA Cup they were winning 1-0 before everyone decided to get sent off. I'm
crazy.
Gonna go Man United 1, Fulham 1.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm actually going to say 0-0. I agree with it being a draw. I feel like actually both teams might rotate a little bit, and that's why I just see a draw playing out. So 0-0 for me.
0-0. Right, Sophie, it's the final game. Let's go down to the South Coast. For the last time, we're going to feature Southampton in a Premier League's prediction video. They take on Liverpool. So really could be a dead rubber. Unless Man United lose to Chelsea, then Liverpool maybe still have a slim chance of the top 4, but I don't think that's going to happen. Liverpool going away to Southampton. Liverpool have been in pretty good form. I thought their performance against Villa was strange. I think Villa did get the better of them for at least the first half of that game. But Southampton are relegated. Not a lot of fight there. Not really many reasons to back them to get anything in this game. Southampton going down with a bit of a whimper, maybe. I'm going to go for Liverpool to end strong. Maybe Firmino scores in his last game. Yeah. Southampton 0, Liverpool 4.
Oh, okay. You think they're going to take a beating down to the Championship? Sure. I won't say they will so much. I do think Liverpool are going to win this. I don't see them conceding, as I do think Southampton have given up at this point, and fair enough. You're down, you're out. What have you got to play for now? So for me, Liverpool win 2-0, so not as much of a beating as you're predicting, yeah.
There you go. That's it, Sophie.
It's all over.
It's all over for a couple of months anyway. It's been emotional, hasn't it?
It has.
It's been a fantastic journey. Like I say, guys, thank you for your great support. I can't believe that is that. Obviously, we've still got content to come over the summer. We'll be talking about all the sorts of things going on. Transfers, predictions, all the latest breaking football news. But do make sure, of course, to share your comments down below for this final one. Please do make sure, of course, like I say, to help us hit 1,000 likes on this video. Do make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Last chance to get involved before we go into the summer. And once again, a massive thank you for your support, Sophie.
Thank you.
We'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.